From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl.
And welcome to the Collins Aerospace Studio here at the Nordloff Center. I'm Greg Peterson, and this is Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. We've got another first round match for you today. Let's go ahead and dive in and meet our teams, starting with the Dakota Indians, who have been playing Quiz Bowl, at least on State Line, as long as anyone else. The Indians are hoping to get back to round 2 after an early exit just a year ago. Maddie, let's meet you and your team.
I'm Maddie. To my left is Braden. To my right is Carson. To my far right is Jennifer.
Welcome. And facing off against them, the Warren Warriors, who have been here, I believe, 11 of our 12 seasons. And a win today would put you in the second round for the first time in program history. So have a chance to actually make some history here. Brody, let's meet you and your team.
I'm Brody. To my left is Berkwin, Riley. To my right is Emma, and to my far right is Alina.
Welcome. So let's go ahead and dive in. We get started with the buzz-in round. That is powered by IBEW Nika, and we know how it works. It's on the buzzer, 10 points for a right answer. Good luck, both teams. Let's roll. What man described an effort to avoid looking a fool in his essay, Shooting an Elephant, and portrayed Winston Smith's defiance of Big Brother in 1984? That's time. That's George Orwell wrote that. Next question. What artist of a triple self-portrait painted the Four Freedoms series, as well as hundreds of covers for the magazine The Saturday Evening Post? Time there as well. Norman Rockwell. It's what you think of with like Americana paintings, basically. Next question. What novel, which includes legends about the sun god Frith and the trickster El Herrera, was written by Richard Adams about Hazel and other rabbits? Time. Watership Down, the surprisingly violent book about bunnies. What organ, whose marginal zone separates its red pulp and lymphoid white pulp, often becomes enlarged in mononucleosis? Braden.
The heart?
No, sorry. And I was done, so Warren gets a chance to buzz if they want it. And time. That's the spleen there. Next question. What man, whose Joachim Ma instrument sold at auction in February of 2025 for $11 million, was an Italian luthier who made prized violins? And time. Stradivarius is the very, very fancy kind of violin. What geologic period saw massive oxygenation of Earth's oceans, as well as a massive proliferation of multicellular life during its namesake explosion? That's Brody.
Cambrian.
Is right. We're on the board and off and running. Next question. In 2006, African-American author Tarana Burke founded what movement encouraging survivors of sexual harassment and rape to share their experiences?
Me
That
Too.
is, Jennifer, say it again.
Me Too.
Is correct. What principle in chemistry with a German name holds that electrons always fill lower energy subshells before higher? That is Jennifer.
Sorry, octet rule.
No, sorry, and I'll finish off the question. Before higher energy ones. Time. It's related to the octet rule, but a little different. Aufbau principle, AUFBAU. What politician who took office in 2023 by succeeding Kevin McCarthy represents the 4th District of Louisiana and is the Speaker of the House? Time. A man with a very generic name, that is Mike Johnson. In 1590, what 8-letter word was found carved into a tree by John White upon his, that is Carson.
Croatoan.
Nice job. I think that's one of the harder questions we've had so far, so well done. What South American countries authors include one who wrote about radio employees in Aunt Julia and the Scriptwriter, Mario Vargas Llosa? Time. He's from Peru. What show in which Jonah Vogelbaum tries to denounce Vought International is a Prime Video series portraying corrupt superheroes like Homelander? Alina.
The Boys.
Is correct. What Swiss-born man outlined 5 points of architecture and pioneered the international style with a concrete machine for living called the Villa Savoie? I said Croatoan was hard. Le Corbusier might be harder. That's a tough one there. But it's the end of the round, and we've got Warren with 30, Dakota with 20. Took us a bit to get going, but we're all warmed up now. We'll see you for the volleyball round right after this. Welcome back. It's time for today's volleyball round where these teams are going to work as teams, but we've got 2 bits to cover before we get there. First of all, keen-eyed viewers at home might note that the score now says 20-20. That's correct. We just accidentally double hit a button. But more importantly, we would like to thank our judge for today's game, who's Alyssa Passmore, a 3rd grade teacher at Keith Country Day School, and also worth saying a recent Golden Apple Award winner. So thank you for what you're doing today, and congrats on the award. Now for the volleyball round. We know that all the answers need to come from the captains. You get to work as a team, and we start with Dakota. This is your question. Yaoundé is the capital of which Central African country that borders Lake Chad? That's time. That's Cameroon. Over to Warren. What river, which is crossed by the Alexander III Bridge and the Pont Neuf, empties into the English Channel at Le Havre and flows past Paris?
The Seine.
In time and correct. Well done. The Seine. Dakota. In ancient Rome, what process could have a person in a tunica molesta take the form of damnatio ad bestias with lions, or have a person crucified?
Execution.
That's right. Warren, in novels and stories by P.G. Wodehouse, upper-class British dunce Bertie Wooster is reliant upon what brilliant, cool-headed personal servant? That's time. That's Jeeves there. That's where we get Ask Jeeves from, among other things. Dakota, what 7-letter adjective for silent mutations with no effect on an organism's functions also describes solutions that are neither acidic nor basic?
Neutral.
That's right. Warren, what South American country may have lost 2/3 of its population in the disastrous 1860s War of the Triple Alliance?
Brazil.
No, it's Paraguay. They tried to fight Uruguay, Argentina, and Brazil at the same time. Dakota, what author who wrote about a phenomenon that sits looking over harbor and city in his poem Fog depicted a city of big shoulders in Chicago? That's time. Carl Sandburg there. Warren, T4, whose tail fibers help it to attach to cell walls, is an example of what type of virus that infects bacteria?
Disease.
No, it's called a phage or a bacteriophage. Dakota, what president who refused to visit victims of the Great Mississippi Flood took office in 1923 after Warren Harding died and was called Silent Cal?
Coolidge.
That's right. Warren, casting on and binding off are terms for starting and stopping. What form of textile making done by hand with a pair of needles?
Knitting.
That's right. Dakota, what organ, whose first transplant was done by Thomas Startzel in 1963, helps detoxify the blood and is affected by hepatitis and cirrhosis?
Kidneys.
No, sorry, it's the liver there. And that is the round. So we've got a real close game here. Dakota with 50, Warren with 40, and let's stop thinking about points. We're going to play for a pizza party with the Bergstrom bonus question right after this.
Which superhero made his debut in Action Comics #1?
was born on the planet Krypton and sports an S symbol on his chest?
Welcome back. It's time for today's Bergstrom bonus question, which is sponsored by GameStar Arcade in Durand. One question on the buzzer. No points if you get it right, but instead a pizza and ice cream party. Here we go. What superhero made his debut in Action Comics #1, was born on the planet Krypton, and that is Carson?
Superman.
Won the buzzer race. Well done. So that is a pizza and ice cream party, courtesy of GameStar Arcade in Durand, coming your way, and some lightning rounds coming everybody's way right after this. Welcome back. It is time for the lightning round, where we're going to see each of these teams have a chance to grab at least 100 points, maybe more with steals, who knows. Warren, you're going to have your first pick of these categories: Colorado, home countries, and the Royal Sea.
Countries.
Okay, home countries. Give the country that these athletes represent in international competition. That may not always be their birthplace. When those are different, we're looking for the country that they represent. 60 seconds on the clock, 10 questions, here we go. Track and field's Usain Bolt.
Brazil.
No. Basketball's Diana Taurasi.
Pass.
Hockey's Sidney Crosby.
Pass.
Tennis's Rafael Nadal.
Pass.
Soccer's Lionel Messi.
Colombia.
No. Golf's Lydia Ko.
Pass.
Soccer's Neymar.
Brazil.
Yes. Tennis's Roger Federer.
Pass.
Soccer's Erling Haaland.
Romania.
No. Boxing's Iman Khalif.
Pass.
Basketball's Diana Taurasi.
Pass.
Hockey's Sidney Crosby.
America.
No. Tennis's Rafael Nadal.
France.
No, and that is time. So that one played kind of hard, but you did pick up 10 points there, which means that there are 9 questions in 30 seconds coming your way, Dakota. Again, give the country that these athletes represent in international competition, even if it's not the country that they were born in. Here we go. Track and field's Usain Bolt.
Jamaica.
Yes. Basketball's Diana Taurasi.
UK.
No. Hockey's Sidney Crosby.
Canada.
Yes. Tennis's Rafael Nadal.
Italy.
No. Soccer's Lionel Messi.
Argentina.
Yes. Golf's Lydia Ko.
Pass.
Tennis's Roger Federer.
Pass.
Soccer's Erling Haaland.
Pass.
And that is time. But you managed to steal 3 of those, so well done. Going over the ones we missed. Diana Taurasi is American. She played for us. Then going on, Rafa Nadal is from Spain. Lydia Ko is actually plays for New Zealand. Roger Federer is from Switzerland. Erling Haaland plays for Manchester City, is from Norway. And Iman Khalif, the boxer, is Algerian. It's a tough round all our way around there. But Dakota, you now get to pick your own category of Colorado or the Royal Sea.
Royal Sea.
Royal Sea, okay. Give these rulers whose regnal names in English begin with the letter C. Here we go. Crowned Britain's king in May of 2023.
Charles IV.
No. The first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity.
Constantine.
Yes. The first wife of Henry VIII.
Pass.
The king of the Franks crowned emperor in 800.
Pass.
The Holy Roman Emperor who oversaw the 1521 Diet of Worms.
Charlemagne.
No. The first king of the unified Franks, baptized in 508.
Pass.
The Empress of Russia from 1762 to 96.
Pass.
The English king executed in 1649.
Pass.
The Roman emperor succeeded by Nero.
Pass.
The Queen of France and wife of King Henry II.
Catherine.
And we're out of, was that in time? You think late? Okay, just barely not in time. So you got one of those yourself. And just like they had, you're now going to have, Warren, 9 questions coming your way. Again, give these rulers whose regnal names in English begin with the letter C. Crowned Britain's king in May of 2023.
King Charles.
Prompt.
Charles III.
Yes. The first wife of Henry VIII.
Catherine.
Prompt.
The third.
No. The king of the Franks crowned emperor in 800.
Pass.
The Holy Roman Emperor who oversaw the 1521 Diet of Worms.
Pass.
The first king of the unified Franks baptized in 508.
Pass.
The Empress of Russia from 1762 to and we are out of time there. So we've got a few to go over here. That one played pretty hard. The king of the Franks crowned emperor in the year 800. That one's Charlemagne. The Holy Roman Emperor in charge of the Diet of Worms was Charles V. And the first king of the unified Franks, his name was Clovis, somebody you're much more likely to learn about in French class than history class. The Empress of Russia in the late 1700s, that's Catherine the Great, the English king that was executed. Another Charles, but that's Charles I. It was Claudius that followed Nero as Roman emperor, or Claudius that preceded Nero as Roman emperor. And then the Queen of France, that's Catherine de' Medici. So a real tough round there. But it means we still have a very close game. It's Dakota 90, Warren 60, and a bunch of 20-point questions left to play. See you for that in a moment. And welcome back. It is time for today's final challenge, which is brought to you, as always, by Rockford University. We've got a 30-point margin right now, and every single one of these questions, a right answer gets you 20 points. It's going to move fast. We got this. Here we go. What 2 characters who face the evil penguin Feathers McGraw in the short The Wrong Trousers are a British man and his dog made using claymation? That's Carson.
Wallace and Gromit.
Is correct. At what 1777 battle did American forces trap and capture John Burgoyne's British army after winning? That is Carson.
Saratoga.
Well done, yes. What African country was controlled by Mengistu Haile Mariam's communist junta called the Derg after the 1974 overthrow of Emperor Haile Selassie? Time, Ethiopia there. Next question. Businessman David McCormick defeated incumbent Senator Bob Casey in what state's 2024 U.S. Senate election? Alina?
Colorado.
No, sorry, but I was done with the question. That is Jennifer.
California.
No, it's Pennsylvania there. In 2024, what former mayor of Tlalpan succeeded fellow Morena Party member Andrés Manuel López Obrador to become the first female president of Mexico? That's time. That's Claudia Scheinbaum. The Hamiltonian operator can be written as T plus V, where T is what energy that can be expressed as momentum squared over 2 times the mass? Carson?
Velocity.
No, sorry. Brody?
Inertia.
No, that's kinetic energy. That formula could also work out to 1/2 mv squared. What large molecules, which can be generated through step growth or chain growth mechanisms, are formed from small units called monomers? Braden.
Polymers.
Yes. In what 1741 sermon delivered in Enfield, Connecticut, did Jonathan Edwards describe humanity as hanging by a slender thread over hellfire? It's time. That's called Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. Next question. What patriarch who was almost killed during the Akedah was the husband of Rebekah and was a miraculous child of Abraham who nearly sacrificed him? That is Jennifer.
Isaac.
Is right. The Greek historian Strabo wrote that trousers were invented by what sorceress from Colchis who married Jason, the leader of the Argonauts? That's time. Medea there, apparently, in addition to all the witchcraft, invented pants. Who knew? So Dakota, 170 and the win. Warren, tough luck here with 60, but we're very much looking forward to having you back next season. Dakota, we'll have you back in a couple months, so we'll see you there, and we'll see all of you next week.